Okay, so I have the Ninja tank. This is just a cover I got for it. And that goes on to this, which is the second stage regulator. It just screws on there like that. Okay, it's about 80 psi or so. And then we have a slide check right here, because these small 1/8 inch paintball quick connect fittings don't seal on themselves, which I think is a little weird, but whatever. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to explain this before I start it up. This, I'm pretty sure, is going to be the final layout. Obviously not in this configuration, but these parts in this order, I think, is what I need. So I have the male quick connect to a T. That T is splitting off into two groups. Down here we have a normally closed valve, and these are both 2-position 3-way switches. This one is normally closed, and that goes into a QEV, which is a quick exhaust valve. And basically when I hit this button, it's going to fill up its tank, and the tank is going to be basically the cylinder. So that will retract, and then when I release the button, that will release the back pressure on the QEV, swapping the valve that's inside of here, and that will release the tank pressure, which will extend the piston again. Going off the T here, we are going into a check valve. I'll explain why I have that in a second, but basically this just allows air to go in this way, but not back out this way. And this is to a normally open valve, so when I hit the button, it will release the back pressure here. So it's going to another QEV. This is a 1/4 inch QEV. This is an 1/8 inch QEV. And the tank is up here. And then this is the exhaust here, which is going to go to the barrel. So the reason why I have a check valve right here is that this is going to be the trigger. So I'm going to hit this. This is going to retract and hit this button, firing it off. So this is what's actually going to close the breech and chamber the round, and this is what's actually going to fire the round off. The only problem with this is if I hit this button, it pulls air from the hose and fills up the tank. The only problem is it's also pulling air from the tank all the way back down and filling this. So it's dropping the pressure of the tank just a little bit before it has a chance to hit the trigger and fire off, because this is going to fill up, it's going to retract the piston, and then when it hits back here, its fully retracted state, that's when it's going to hit the trigger. So it's pulling up all of this air and then firing it off. So that's not good. To prevent that, I put a check valve right here. Now that's nothing that I read anywhere. Again, there's not a whole lot of data on this whole build. The only person I've even seen try to do this is Liam Davis, and that was some vague pictures, and I asked him a handful of questions, but there's nothing about a check valve that I read or saw or anything. But after playing with this setup, I realized that I needed one of these. So I've done enough talking. So that's filling up the tank. So fire them off individually. Here's the cylinder. Here's the tank. Now that doesn't sound like it's doing a whole lot, but it is actually enough to blow some things away. So it is doing stuff. And what's going to happen is it's going to act something like this. So you can see this one activates, this will close up, and as soon as it hits this back position, that's when it's going to hit this. So you can see how it would pull air back down. Wouldn't have time to fill up the tank again, but this way it's not doing that. pretty cool. It's pretty satisfying. So that is running off of, yeah, that's 70 psi. So this whole setup can run anywhere from 50 up to about 100 psi. Probably 80, I would say, is the max, because some of these fittings are rated for 100 psi, and that's going to be the cap. Like these tubes, I think, are rated for 100 psi. I'm not sure what this is rated for, but I'm assuming it's 100 psi because it's the same system. And then the highest rated items are the piston itself, which is at 250 psi, which I'm not going to get anywhere near. And then the tank itself is 150 psi, which again, not getting anywhere near that. And that's not maximum pressure, that's operating pressure. So yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. Then unfortunately, I think I want to change out this whole line system. This is good for now, but eventually maybe I'll change this out, because I don't like that I have to slide check that before I take that off. But it's a nice little small connector for now, and it's doing its job just fine. Everything's cycling quickly and efficiently. So this is the build for now. This is probably where I'm going to leave this until after Endwar, and after I have another project, because I want to do something before this. But this is going to be a background project, kind of, and this is something I wanted to get into, not to use it, because I think this is a little bit too powerful to be running around in a war. I wouldn't want to get shot with it, so I wouldn't want to shoot other people with it, basically. But it's going to be a nice blaster, and I think it's going to be really satisfying to use. So we'll see where it goes from here. But let me know what you guys think of this so far in the comments below. If you have any questions, of course, down below. Thanks for watching.